Hey there everyone, welcome back to another episode of No Man's Sky. As always, I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault, and as you can see, I've got my Pilgrim here. And we're going to talk about why you should get yourself an Exocraft and show you how to soup it up really nice. But first off, let's go ahead and name this thing. Yeah, we're going to name it Hog. It's my hog. Alright guys, let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, Exocraft make traversing a planet much easier, much more fun, and much quicker than on foot, and it saves you a ton of fuel for your ship and the aggravation caused by having to find a landing spot for your ship or finding even a flat spot where it can land sometimes. So, yeah. Woohoo! Plus, look at that, man. We can catch some major air in there. So, this one happens to be my favorite. There's several Exocraft. You've got the little hovercraft one, the Nomad. You've got the four-wheeler, which is the Roamer, which is a very close second. You got the Colossus, which is great for mining resources and storing stuff. I kind of like to use that one as a mobile storage unit. And we'll look at that maybe later on in another video. But for now, we're going to talk about this puppy here because this thing's fast as hell. You can go long distances. And we can do some cool stuff with it. So, let's take a look under the hood. Alright, well first off, let's take a look under the hood here. Like I said, what we've got in here is pretty much everything you can load up into one of these things. And some stuff is more important than others, but your main things are your engine and your boost, or your Exocraft boosters. These things help you get around the planet. Now these three here, the drift suspension, the high slide suspension, and the grip boost suspension, they all help with your navigation and taking corners and all that. Without these, you're kind of clunky and makes things a little challenging. Then you've got your mining laser, which is fantastic if you want to use it for mining. This is not necessary if you're not going to use it for mining. So, that's kind of up to you on what you want to use it for. And a mounted cannon in case you want to shoot stuff, which it's pretty hard to do in this thing. So, if you're going to pass on something, I'd recommend passing on the mounted cannon because I don't find it to be all that useful. Now here, the radar power resonator, the Exocraft radar, and the radar amplifier, these are fantastic. These are a must-have, and I'll show you why it'll make traversing planets so much easier. And then, of course, your shielding. You've got 4 different types, one for heat, one for cold, one for toxic, and one for radiation. And essentially, like we're on a cold planet right now, when we get in our Exocraft, it will provide us protection from the cold. And it will not affect our actual shields on us personally. So if you're looking for that achievement for surviving on planets without, surviving on extreme planets, there's a couple of achievements for that, depending on how long you do it. You can basically land on an extreme planet, bust out your Exocraft, sit inside of it, and then go make yourself dinner, watch a movie and all that, and come back, and you'll probably have the achievement, and I just fell in the hole. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. Highly, highly, highly recommend that. So, traversal purposes. So, I chose a planet that has something called, is it Ancient Bones on it? Where are they? Let's find some of these things. That's regular old buried tech, buried tech. And of course there's none within sight right now because I'm making a video. Thanks a lot, kid. But anyway, if you want to go somewhere that's quite a distance away and it's a little challenging to find, to get there on foot, like, yeah, it's 119, that's Alright, 517. Salt deposit, right? We've all run a big distance to get to a place. You know how long it takes you to run 517 units. But in this thing, we're going to be there in less than half a minute. And look at that, boom, we're there. So it helps out quite a bit. Now, if you have a freighter, that's great. You can go ahead and put the actual room on the freighter that will allow you to summon your Exocraft in any system that you're in. If you don't have a freighter, well, then you're going to need to build the actual geobay on the planet you want to use it on. Now, you can put the geobay down, summon your Exocraft, and then pick up the geobay again and put it back into your inventory. That's what I did. Or actually, I disassembled it, right? Yeah, I disassembled it. So, you know, you get your resources back for it, not a big deal. Or you can leave it there if you want. You know, if you don't need to have a base on the planet to use one of these things, which is fantastic. Now, it does have a mounted drill on it. As you can see, the drill's pretty effective. This is a nice, safe way to gather materials while avoiding the elements. Pretty powerful, pretty quick, pretty fantastic. You can also use it to kill animals if you want. Although I don't recommend that because people get mad when you kill animals. The engine itself runs off of carbon. So here we go. We got a good little fusion engine here. Now, I chose some upgrades for it, and I went through and I did my usual duping thing, got a bunch of upgrades, and opened up a bunch of them, found the best one, and then made 2 duplicates of it, so I have 3, which is the max, just like everything else that you can have. This one seemed to be the best for me, 19% less fuel usage and 15% top speed. So ultimately that would give me approximately 60% better fuel efficiency and 45% better speed on the top end. But I've got a supercharged slot here, so that really ups things by quite a bit on the one at least. So there's that. For the boost and the Exocraft booster, you hit L1 to boost your engine as you're going, and this gives you a temporary boost. Again, I went for boost tank size because that gives you a longer boost time. And the boost power, both are in the high 50s, 57 and 59. So I couldn't go wrong with that. Went ahead and tripled that. Put one in there and I got 72 and 74. So that thing is really, really powerful. And last but not least, we have our Exocraft mining laser. I put the basic here. And then I went around and I was looking for damage. You know, I got damage at 12%, weapon power efficiency at 16, rate of fire at 9%. And of course one of them's boosted. And it's kind of funny how the boost works, right? So damage goes from 12% to 15%. It gains 3%. Which is pretty bad. That's like, what, 25% more damage? Yeah. On rate of fire, it goes from 9 to 27, so it's actually 3 times the amount. And on weapon power efficiency, it goes from 16 to 33, which is roughly double. So there's no rhyme or reason to how that works. It's just how it is. I wish and I hope this is a big time missed opportunity for Hello Games. So if you guys watch this ever and see this, we need a way to add more slots, not only to the cargo, but to the actual technology slots. I don't have anything else I can put in here. I've pretty much got everything you can, but it just makes me crazy to have these empty slots like this. It's kind of like a thing, a little OCD. I'd like to see these guys get a little TLC in the future, maybe in a minor patch or something where we can actually upgrade the class of these, like the ships, the multi-tools, and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to see us have that ability. I'd love to see us to be able to expand the cargo section, especially because look at this. This is annoying as hell. I mean, why do we have empty slots here and here? It should, take these 1, 2, 3, 4 slots and just remove these 4 down at the bottom and move that one over and make it less aggravating. Just fill these in for God's sake. What would it be? 5 more slots? Is that too much to ask for? But yeah, that's that. So yep, so we can just cruise along here and Go, go, go. Another nice thing, if you're looking for specific types of buildings on a planet, like I know a lot of times I'll get down into the atmosphere on my ship, and I'll just start doing that random scan. And that random scan is going to show me a building, but we're not going to know what it is until we get within sight of it. We're not going to know if it's a trade terminal. Ooh, we're not going to know if it's... look what I found. Yeah, we're not going to know if it's a trade terminal, anything like that, whatever specific type building it is. But this guy has a special radar that can look for trade outposts, depots, drop pods, which is huge. You don't need those silly little maps. Abandoned structures, and ruins, as well as alien structures. So that'll get you the things that'll help you find the monolith and all that, which is fantastic. Can we mine these? So there we go, we detected a monolith. And yeah, look at that, I can mine this. I'm using this thing perfectly. So since I did find some floating crystals on this planet, this planet is in the same system as the big mining facility I built, there are going to be curious deposits on this planet. So I'm going to find them and build a base for curious deposits, which will get us lots and lots of nanites for future use. But yeah, pretty cool, right? So there's a lot you can do with these things. It'll make things a lot easier for you, hunting down stuff, and let's get up to the top here, some high ground. There we go. I'll take another look around just to see. There's buried tech. I can't believe I'm not spotting any of those bones on this planet. They're supposed to be bones, but whatever. We got what we needed from the salt deposit there. So, yep. What's your favorite exocraft in the game? I know a lot of people like the roamer. A lot of people love this pilgrim. Some people prefer the little nomad, and I think that's a cool one too. Definitely not as fast and you know, easy to get around with as this one. It takes a little bit longer. It doesn't have the, you know, the ability to drift like this one does. I mean, look at this, all over the place. Woohoo! Living my life a quarter mile at a time when I do this, but this one's my definite favorite. I will do a video on the Nomad because I do like the Nomad, and it does have some specific uses that are great, that actually are better for a water planet than the actual Nautilon, so go figure on that one, right? So if you found this video entertaining or useful at all, please leave a thumbs up on it. That's always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and tell me your thoughts on Exocraft down below. How many of them do you own? What do you use them for? Or are you like me that, you know, I've had so many times I just kind of forget I have them, and it just becomes like an afterthought almost. Alright guys, well I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.